Okay, I'm going to go through some of these problems. If you would like to pay attention, that's fine. You don't have to, but please be quiet so that I can go through some of these. Yes. Okay, if we look at number 1, the first thing you have to do is decide if you want to cancel out the x's or the y's. It does not matter here, okay? It would probably be easiest to cancel out the y's. It would probably be easiest to cancel out the y's because all you'd have to do is multiply by a negative. Jeremy, you can get a piece of paper from anyone. So I'm going to multiply this equation by a negative. So change all of these. Then when you add together your equation, 3x minus x is 2x. Y minus y, these will cancel. Zoom in just a little bit more for you. Equals negative 21 and positive 5 is negative 16. To get x by itself, divide both sides by 2. And you'll get x is equal to negative 8. Remember, we're trying to get an x and y coordinate. So negative 8 is your x. Then take the other equation and you're going to plug in to find y. Doesn't matter which one you plug into. I'm going to choose this one because it doesn't have the negatives. So 3 multiplied by negative 8 plus y equals negative 21. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. Plus y equals negative 21. You can do it on this paper, Jeremy. You don't have this worksheet? Do you need it? Here, Jeremy. Right here. No, that's not. If you add these together, be really careful with your positives and negatives because lots of people are making just silly errors here. So these will cancel. Y equals negative 21, positive 24 is 3. So these would cross at the point negative 8, comma 3. Okay, make sure it's written as a point in parentheses. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do as many as we need to. Okay, number 2 I'm going to skip because all you really have to do is multiply by negative. Number 3 is a little more challenging, okay? Number 3, you can't just multiply by a negative to cancel something out. Okay, so you need to decide, would we prefer to multiply or to cancel out x or y?
Y.
X is probably going to be easier. Okay, so you need to look at the coefficients. So 6 and negative 4. What multiples of 6 and negative 4 do these two have in common? So like if you're multiplying, so multiples of 6 would be like 6, 12, okay, not what goes into them, but what do they go into? So like 6, 12, 18, what's the smallest number that both 6 and 4 go into? No, listen to my question. Not what number goes into them, 12, okay? So what numbers do 6 and 12 both go into? You want to change them to be 12s, okay? Here, to get from 6 to 12, you'd have to multiply by 2. To get from negative 4 to negative 12, you'd multiply by 3. So we want to get these to be the same coefficient, the same number in front. So sometimes you have to multiply both equations. I'm going to rewrite these. You have to distribute all the way through, so that means multiply by 2 to all the parts here. Multiply by 2, you're going to get 12x plus 14y equals negative 18. Same thing here. Distribute the 3, so that means multiply by 3 to all the parts. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15y equals positive 15. Then we've set these up so that a variable will cancel out. You want the letter to cancel out. Then if you add these together, positive 14, negative 15 is negative 1y is equal to negative 18 and positive 15 is negative 3. To get y by itself, divide both sides by the negative 1 and y will equal 3. So we're going to start making our point, our answer. The second portion, the y portion, is 3. Then take one of your equations, and it could be your original equations or the ones that you multiplied, and you're going to plug in 3 to solve for the other letter. I'm going to choose this equation because it has the least amount of negatives. So 6 times x plus 7 multiplied by 3 is equal to negative 9. And then we're going to work that out. So 6x plus 21 equals negative 9. Subtract the 21. Leaves you with 6x equals negative 9, and negative 21 is negative 30. To get x by itself, divide both sides by 6, and that'll leave you with an x value of negative 5. So these two equations would cross, these two lines would cross at the point negative 5, comma 3. Have to have two parts. Like I said earlier, these are all going to come out to be nice whole numbers. No fractions, no decimals. None of these answers will be fractions or decimals, not at all. Okay, do you want me to do number 4? Okay. No, you guys tell me which is the next one you want me to do.
Oh, number
4.
7.
You want me to do 4?
Number 8.
Okay, someone asked for 7 and then we'll do 8, okay? So if you look at these, look at your coefficients. So a 6 and a negative 7, those are kind of big. A 1 and a negative 2. Which ones do you think would be easiest to eliminate, the x's or the y's? The y's, okay? Because 6 and negative 7, you're going to have to multiply by something pretty big to get them to cancel. 1 and negative 2, what can you multiply by to get them to cancel?
They both want to be 600.
Okay, we're looking at 1 and negative 2.
Oh, no, 3, 4.
2. You have a negative 2. You want to get this to be a positive 2. So multiply this by positive 2. If you multiply that through, that's going to give you 12x plus 2y equals 2 times 15 is 30. Then if we add these together, negative 7, positive 12 gives you 5x. Negative 2, positive 2, these will cancel, equals negative 10, positive 30 is 20. Divide both sides by 5. And you'll get an x value equal to 4. Then take one of your equations, and it does not matter which one. I'm going to choose this one to plug back into. 6 multiplied by 4 plus y equals 15. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus y equals 15. To get y by itself, you would subtract 24. And we'll get y is negative 9. So these would cross at the point 4, negative 9. 4, comma, negative 9. Which others do you guys think you want to see worked out?
10.
6? Okay, number 6 is actually kind of easy because if you look at these, the coefficients, these are already going to cancel.
Number 10 then.
So this is good. This one cancels out. Negative 4, positive 9 gives you positive 5y equals negative 23, positive 8 is negative 15. To get y by itself, you divide by 5. And that's going to leave us y is negative 3.
See?
Then take one of these, plug into it. So 5 times x minus 4 multiplied by negative 3. Be really careful with your negatives here. Equals negative 23. So 5x, negative times negative gives you plus 12 is equal to negative 23. To get rid of the 12, you're going to subtract it from both sides. 5x is equal to negative and negative. You add them together, keep the sign. That's going to be negative 35. To get x by itself, divide both sides by 5. And you'll get x is negative 7. So here, these would cross at negative 7, negative 3. Negative 7, negative 3. Which others?
10.
Number 2.
10.
Okay, we can try 10. Okay, if you look at number 10, you have 3 and 3, 2 and 4. So if we want to eliminate something, do you want to eliminate the x's or the y's?
X's.
Okay, x's, if you have both positive 3's here, all you need is for one of them to be a negative. So you can multiply either one, multiply everything through by negative. It's going to turn that to a positive. Then these add together, they cancel. Negative 2, positive 4 gives you a positive 2y. Positive 13, positive 1 gives you a positive 14. To get y, divide both sides by 2. So y will equal 14 divided by 2 is 7. Take one of your equations, it does not matter which one, and plug in. So 3 times x plus 4 times 7 is equal to 1. 3x plus 4 times 7 is 28, is equal to 1. Move the 28 by subtracting it from both sides. 3x is equal to, what's 1 minus 28?
1 minus 28.
27.
Negative 27. Then divide both sides by 3. And x is negative 9. So these would cross at the point negative 9, positive 7. Okay, that's 5 out of the total 10 on your homework.
Let's go.
Are there any others that you guys feel like you might need help with that you want to see worked out before we're done? Yes.
No.
Number 4. Okay, number 4 is actually pretty good. Okay, number 4. You need to decide, should we cancel out the x's or the y's?
The Y.
If you multiply the x's to get negative 3 and positive 4, what would they have in common? What's the smallest number that both negative 3 and positive 4 go into? 12. If you look at the y's, you have a 2 and a 1. What's going to be easier? Multiplying the y's or the x's? Getting rid of the y's. Okay, you'd have to multiply this one by 2. Since I'm multiplying this one, I'm going to rewrite both of them because it'll just be a little easier. So negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 3. I just rewrote that first equation. This one you distribute, multiply by the 2. So 8x minus 2y equals negative 2. You add together, the y's will cancel. Negative 3 and positive 8 gives you a positive 5x is equal to negative 3 and negative 2 is negative 5. Divide both sides by 5. And you should get x has a value of negative 1. Take either of the equations and you're going to plug into them. I'll choose this one. So 4, plug in the negative 1 for x, minus y is equal to negative 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, minus y equals negative 1. I'm going to get y by itself, so move the 4, add 4 to both sides. Move over here. That'll leave us with negative y is equal to negative 1 and positive 4 gives you what? Positive 3. And then to get y by itself, you have to divide it away. Divide away the negative. So y will equal a negative 3. So these two would cross at negative 1, comma, negative 3. Make sure they're in parentheses, x, comma, y. It has to be in that order. Okay, you guys should be able to do the rest of them on your own since I did almost all of your homework.
We can do this.